Sussex deserve to be outed. Harry and Meghan's whining backfired as Charles cut couple off. You might have heard Harry complain about King Charles cutting him off financially, but Harry seems to overlook the times the king covered thousands of bills for them. Let's delve into this in the video and welcome back to the Royal News 365 channel. Harry stated that his father, King Charles, who was then Prince Charles, told him there wasn't enough money for Meghan Markle prior to their marriage. However, the timing of this conversation is up for debate. Reports indicate King Charles covered the costs of Meghan's expensive wardrobe. Meghan's lavish spending on clothing, including ensembles worth thousands of pounds, raised concerns about finances. Additionally, the king reportedly paid for Meghan's wedding dress and other costly outfits, yet her luxurious taste strained his budget. This might have led the king to distance himself from Meghan financially, a point that Harry used to accuse his father of financial oppression, though this seems to only tell part of the story. It's known that the king released financial records showing he provided money to Harry and Meghan after they stepped back from their royal duties. It's disheartening for the UK public to witness the royal family spending exorbitant sums on clothes while many are struggling to make ends meet. Harry and Meghan's expensive tastes are seen as excessive, contrasting sharply with Princess Catherine's approach of wearing clothes and jewelry that are accessible to the public, something Meghan might never fully grasp. Harry was in his late 30s and nearing 40 when he and Meghan were whining about being financially cut off during their interview with Oprah. Yet he failed to mention how the king had put a significant amount of money into Harry's account to support his new life and home, in addition to the funds Harry received upon leaving the UK. Furthermore, they never expressed gratitude to Canada for hosting them and covering their security costs during their brief stay. It's hard to empathize with two adults who complain about losing financial support after leaving their roles, especially since they left with millions in hand. They didn't disclose the millions they received upon departure and had the audacity to ask for more, questioning why his father denied further assistance. Their excessive spending habits and Meghan's extravagant lifestyle stand in stark contrast to other royal family members who dress in quality clothing meant to last years. This highlights the divide between the old money class and the lavish celebrity culture. While Harry and Meghan both are grifters, always looking for handouts and freebies, free clothes, free security, free plane rides, free hotels, etc. Two worthless ghouls. I literally can't stand the sight of either of them. The king is the one who directly helps these two people. I believe he must have been very disappointed, so he finally decided to cut them off. Meghan spent King Charles' money on all that expensive clothing and still managed to look like she'd been dragged through a hedge backward. It's confirmed that their funding was cut off in the palace accounts, exactly as complained about by Harry in the Oprah interview. Also, long before the Queen died, it has been reported that Charles stopped taking Harry's phone calls. Harry then started phoning the Queen to get her to persuade Charles to speak to him. When the late Queen asked Charles why he wouldn't take Harry's calls, Charles famously replied, "I am not a bank." Apparently, the only reason Harry rang was to ask for money or for bills to be paid. Why would Harry and Meghan expect King Charles to pay for her clothes? Harry is a married man, he should pay for his wife's expenses. I don't think many people expect their father-in-law to pay their bills. I wouldn't have the nerve to pick the most expensive clothes and jewelry even if someone else was paying for it. She is indeed an opportunist. After all of these, she still dared to accuse Charles as racist and trashing the family. She expects the family to give in to her demands or else. What a wicked woman. And Harry just let her. It was reported at the time that Meghan spent more on her wardrobe in 1 year than all the other European royal ladies combined. They looked great, but Meghan always wore poorly fitted clothing. Princess Catherine shops high street clothing and looks amazing in it. She doesn't need to spend thousands to look great in them. She only buys designer for royal events. Even then, she recycles them. King Charles is notoriously frugal. He prefers his money to go to charities and other deserving causes, not greedy family members. I remember King Charles was not happy with how much Diana's wardrobe cost, although she was more important and Meghan's wardrobe was far more expensive. So the issue of financial cuts with the Sussex couple is understandable. After controversy surrounding financial issues, Meghan and Harry dared to say King Charles is a racist. Yes, it was Omid who said this, but we all know that he is their mouthpiece, and Harry has never condemned Omid for saying that. Changing black and white and believing in what they say is the forte of this duo. Meghan claimed in an interview with a magazine that she paid for her own wedding gown, but reports say that it is the king who pays. Charles also paid for her engagement dress, which cost PS 75,000. Her spending was insane and exceeded all the other royals combined, including the late queen. There is a video on YouTube that goes through what they all wore in 1 year, and I mean every royal family in Europe, the working members that are, and Meghan spent more than the rest of them put together, and that was without attending any state occasions. Bloody crazy. Although there are expensive costumes, Meghan never really looks classy. She usually looks rumpled and a bit messy. Why is anyone paying that much for clothes? Some children could use food, clothes, and medical care. If she got a decent stylist, she could save money and get schooled on fashion and wardrobe, probably even be able to donate money for children. But Meghan chose to use it all for herself, but this method was ineffective. She would have to listen to the stylist's advice. However, Meghan doesn't seem to follow anyone's advice. She thinks she is smarter and knows more than anyone. Meghan was stupid enough to assume that Harry was independently wealthy, and Harry was gutless to never correct her misguided assumption. He was flying her places first class. They were going on expensive getaways to exclusive locations for the wealthy. Meghan is just take, just like her husband. If your dad is refusing to speak over the phone to you because he assumes you're just going to ask for money, chances are you are living way outside of your budget. I find it ridiculous that a grown man, after stating that he's going to be financially independent, cries because daddy cut off his allowance. That video of Harry whining to Oprah like a 10-year-old just astounded me. He sounds like he's 10 years old. Why would he feel he needed to explain his finances to Oprah? He needs to realize what a good gold digger his wife is. Imagine never having to cook your meals again and just ringing a bell. Also, get top designers begging to dress you and you get a PS1M annual allowance for clothes, plus access to wearing millions of PS in royal jewels. But you have to curtsy and walk behind two other royals, so you get pissed and leave. I agree that she honestly thought when she married the royal family was just going to keep funding her expensive taste. That is why Meghan was rude and wrong when she commented, "I can't believe I'm not getting paid for this, just another lie." Well, dear, a clothing expense is a form of payment. Meghan has denied it completely. Meghan never wanted the royal lifestyle, but only the royal power and money. It can be the most expensive branded dress she wears, yet it looks like she picked it out of the trash. All she saw when she pursued Harry were money signs. What's worse, her choice of fashion did not always flatter her. And how old was Harry when he continued to get financial support from King Charles after Megxit? They are both really entitled and juvenile. Not a good combination. Best racist ever to give her all that money. How embarrassing that two grown adults moan about being cut off financially. I find it funny how she thought members of the royal family were gullible and naive. She tried to take on an institution that has been around for hundreds of years. Can you imagine Harry's family as they gradually realized the magnitude of Meghan's lies? They must have felt like all their patient care for Harry was destroyed in one fell swoop. What a shame. Wasn't enough money for Meghan had to have been stated after she got her greedy claws into the coffers. Assuredly, the king had more than enough money to fund her mania, but of course recognized money as being ill-spent. Meghan Markle's wardrobe, which reportedly cost around PS1 million, has largely gone unseen since the initial sightings. The whereabouts of these expensive outfits are unclear. Perhaps she sold them for profit, or maybe she didn't purchase them but rather promoted them for free while using King Charles's funds. This situation seems to reflect elder abuse toward Charles. It's time for Harry to step up and financially support himself and his wife like any other responsible adult would. Meghan seems to enjoy luxury only when someone else foots the bill. When she paid for her own clothes, she chose cheaper options. However, regardless of the price, her clothing choices often didn't match her figure or style, and more affordable alternatives could easily be found. It's not just her wardrobe that reflects this lavish lifestyle. She also travels like a queen, demanding customized suites in top hotels, and extensive security detail and private jets. Meghan's extravagant spending while relying on others' money is concerning. Her claim of having her own career, unlike Princess Catherine, seems baseless now that their dependency on the royal family is evident. This could explain why they remain so fixated on the family. This concludes our video. What do you think about the king's approach? We encourage you to join the discussion in the comments. If you agree with our views, please let us know. If not, share your perspective as well. Remember to like and share the video, as your support motivates us. Don't forget to subscribe for updates on our latest content. We'll be back soon. Thank you for watching and goodbye.